Welcome to Recap Diary. Here is the recap of the movie Outside the Wire, released in 2021. A civil war broke out in 2036 in Ukraine between local resistance groups and Russian rebels under the command of a criminal warlord named Viktor Koval. The U.S. has peacekeeping forces stationed on this new, lawless frontier. The militants ambush American soldiers during their first operation, with the assistance of robotic soldiers known as Gump. The Gumps are easily defeated, and they are outnumbered and surrounded. Drone pilot Lieutenant Harp notices an unknown vehicle approaching the field soldiers as they struggle to flee and reports it to Miller. He requests authorization to fire a missile because he views it as a threat, but Miller denies him because two of his men are still trapped. The desire to have Harp's partner, Bale, confirm the airstrike with Captain Bryden is also denied. Harp, however, defies his superiors and fires the missile at the car by himself. Even if Miller is able to save the other 38 soldiers, the fact that two of his men are not saved makes him furious. Due to his defiance of a clear directive, he is transferred to the U.S. military installation in Camp Nathaniel in Ukraine. Colonel Eckhart welcomes Harp and informs him that if he makes it through the mission, he will be returned to the Air Force. If not, his death will serve as a warning to other pilots to follow the regulations and not disrespect them. Then he finds himself in a structure where Gumps are being charged. In the end, Harp gets to know Captain Leo, who will be his boss in Camp Nathaniel. Leo discloses Harp's stellar military record, as well as his impending marriage. Leo assigns Harp a task right away, telling him to help the captain bring immunizations to a clinic where cholera is spreading. Following the agreement's signature, Leo shares a tale of Viktor Koval, the man behind a bombing in Ukraine that claimed over 25,000 lives. He continues by saying that Viktor intends to travel to Systema Perimeter, the location of Russian nuclear weapons, and use them to murder a large number of people. As a result, Leo gives the pilot a new task: tracking Viktor. Harp is shocked to learn that Captain Leo is actually an artificial super soldier while getting ready. The captain says before leaving that he specifically picked Harp because he believes the youngster has the ability to think creatively. Miller and his men suddenly face Harp and threaten to kill him for killing two of his soldiers earlier. However, this encounter is short-lived when the captain arrives, and they head to the clinic. While traveling, Hip reveals to his supervisor that he still has a sense of humor as he shows him a picture of his girlfriend. When they discover that an air truck was struck and blocked the road, their travel is delayed. The army has angered the populace, who throw things at them. When one of these strikes the Gump, it instantly shoots the thrower. After speaking with their commander, Leo is able to diffuse the tension and bring the civilians back to composure. Unfortunately, Viktor's men ambush the soldiers, leading to a gunfight. Because they can easily eliminate the Gumps, the insurgents are ready. Because of this, Miller and his soldiers must stay behind to restrain Viktor's men, while Leo and Harp must travel and deliver the vaccines on foot. Leo informs Harp of the way that the Pentagon intentionally designed his look that way, because it exudes calmness and impartiality. When they get to the camp for refugees, they go straight to the clinic. A sniper, sent by Viktor, tries to kill Leo and Harp as the doctor is giving the shots, but misses and hits the nurse and doctor instead. After the captain successfully hits the sniper with a single shot, he is questioned and asked to reveal Viktor's whereabouts. However, the sniper refuses to respond, and the locals eventually torture him. Harp queries Leo's choice to not notify the base of the issue, but Leo responds that they don't have enough time, and that they must go on their hunt for Viktor. Leo says in the truck that he can operate independently of others, and that he can disobey the law under specific conditions. The rebel leader Sophia is then shown to them, and she tells Leo about the highly sensitive access codes needed to activate the nuclear missiles that are concealed nearby. They understand that Viktor is pursuing the codes, and they must stop him. They should locate an arms dealer who is aware of the code's whereabouts, advises Sophia. She tells the men that the money they purchase from her will go toward funding the orphanage when they acquire multiple firearms before they leave. They are led to the market by Sophia, where they meet Oshlag. Leo quickly dispatches his soldiers, despite their attempts to strike. The arms dealer makes an attempt to flee, but Leo pursues and eventually captures him. With no other choice, Oshlag divulges the location of the code, which is at the adjacent bank. They quickly make their way to the bank, while Sophia murders the arms dealer for betraying her. As soon as they arrive, the captain gives Harp the order to remove a tracker from his body in order to avoid being discovered by the Russians. They enter the bank right away, thinking that Victor is there, and Leo instructs Harp to phone Eckhart. Following that, Harp tries to assist the hostages in escaping as Leo fights with Victor's soldiers in a gunfight. A killer robot that appears a little while later targets Leo. They are able to destroy the robot together because of their coordination. Leo keeps looking for Victor and the code, and Harp eventually gives Eckhart a call to ask for help. The novice releases the hostages. When he learns that Eckhart sends Gumps rather than human warriors, he is perplexed. Shortly afterward, the Russians emerge from the bank and make threats to the hostages' lives. After one of them is shot by a Gump, they start a firefight. Harp tries to save the other captives and relocates them to a more secure location. When Harp phones the colonel back, he discovers that, in reality, he is sending a drone and intends to use a missile to kill the entire building. Leo sees a man trying to flee after stealing the codes on the opposite side. Even after he shoots him, the rebel is able to escape. Leo eventually catches him and gets the code after a protracted chase. Sadly, that man is not Victor. The missile is fired back toward Harp, obliterating the entire bank. Eckhart currently feels that the missile has killed both Leo and Victor. The men get back together once more and leave. As they travel, Harp begins to doubt Leo's true intentions and wonders what he's really up to. The captain then admits that he has been controlling Hip all along, pressuring him to make bad choices, because the android backup system enables him to forego the necessity for human intervention if the subject is making poor selections. As a result, Harp can no longer offer him instructions. Subsequently, he renders Harp unconscious and abandons him on the side of the road, where Sophia's men pick him up. When Leo meets with Victor in person, it becomes clear that they have been collaborating for some time. Leo is forced to assassinate Victor since he won't reveal the location of the perimeter where the nuclear weapon is hidden. After taking out every one of Victor's soldiers, he finally kills Victor. Then he finds out where it is and goes there right away. Conversely, Sophia divulges to Harp the U.S.'s covered objectives for the peacekeeping mission. At last, the pilot understands that Leo is going to fire the missile at the United States. After Sophia lets him go, Harp quickly returns to the base. He then tells Eckhart and Miller everything he knows about Leo, including the fact that he is still alive and is on his way to the missile location. They accept him, and Harp phones Bale right away to ask him to find Leo. She locates him, but the colonel is unable to send an army there since he is in a contested region near the Russian border. Harp then makes the offer to pursue him by himself. Miller provides him with a weapon that works against Leo before he leaves. After some time, he reaches the bomb silo and enters covertly as Leo installs the device and sets it up for the rocket. When Harp enters the room, Leo regrettably spots him and chokes him till he passes out. As Leo proceeds with the installation, the countdown starts. Harp wakes up and uses the provided weapon to shoot his captain mercilessly until he collapses. Leo's body is broken by it. When the android finally lets slip what his true scheme is, he says he intends to attack America to take down the AI or cyborg program that made him. Given that robot soldiers like Gumps are the embodiment of never-ending conflict, he intends to take this action to stop the nation from engaging in more of these disastrous wars in the future. Harp then returns to the base and authorizes the attack to be launched. Despite the total destruction of the nuclear missile and the silo, Harp finds a way out and returns to base. Eckhart will tell him he is a hero and send him back to the Air Force at the end of the film. And that's the end of this recap. Make sure to subscribe, share, and comment. Remember, your engagement and support keep us motivated. Thanks for staying till the end. See you at the next one.